In the heart of Canada, blanketed by the chilling mist from a nearby lake, stands the decaying monument known as Ravenhill Asylum. Established in the late 19th century, it was once a beacon of modern psychiatric treatment, a place where science and compassion were meant to intertwine, where the misunderstood and the marginalized were to be cared for. But over time, the asylum's noble purpose was lost in the shadows of greed, corruption, and a twisted thirst for knowledge. Ravenhill became a living nightmare. Its patients, reduced to mere subjects, were subjected to cruel experiments that robbed them of their sanity. The asylum's once pristine halls became a labyrinth of fear and torment, echoing with the screams of the forgotten. The local populace began to whisper of the horrors within Ravenhill, their tales growing into legends that chilled the blood. Yet, beneath its noble facade, Ravenhill harbored dark secrets and unspeakable horrors that led to its closure. Its history, as dark and twisted as the asylum itself, remains a chilling testament to man's inhumanity to man. Drawn by tales of hauntings and unexplained phenomena, 4 thrill-seeking friends dared to explore Ravenhill one fateful autumn night. Armed with nothing more than flashlights and a camera, they ventured into the heart of the asylum, their footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. The asylum's once grand halls, now crumbling and forsaken, held an unsettling stillness. The air was heavy with the stench of decay, a stark reminder of the asylum's grim past. They came across a room, its walls covered in frenzied scribblings and faded photographs of patients with hollow, tormented eyes. The sense of despair was palpable, clinging to the peeling paint and rusted bed frames like a shroud. As they ventured deeper, the temperature dropped and their lights began to flicker erratically. The once silent halls were now filled with a chilling laugh, its source unseen. The friends stood frozen in fear, the reality of their situation sinking in. Their thrill-seeking adventure had turned into a nightmare from which escape seemed impossible. A chilling laugh echoed through the corridors, its source unseen. Suddenly, the labyrinthine layout of the asylum seemed to shift around them, corridors twisting into impossible geometries. The once familiar hallways now seemed like a maze, shrouded in an oppressive darkness that their flickering flashlights struggled to penetrate. The air grew colder, a chill that seeped into their bones, as if the very walls of the asylum were alive with the memories of its tormented past. As they stumbled through the darkness, their senses were assaulted by the echoes of the asylum's former inhabitants. The eerie silence was broken by the anguished cries of a man, his voice reverberating off the cold stone walls, a chilling testament to the horrors he had endured. A woman's soft sobs resonated through the corridors, her sorrow a haunting melody that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere, all at once. Suddenly, a chilling laughter echoed through the corridors, the sound twisting into a symphony of torment that sent shivers down their spines. The friends found themselves drawn into separate rooms, each one a window into the asylum's dark history. One room was home to a woman, her spectral form endlessly rocking back and forth, locked in her own private nightmare. Another held a man, his ghostly figure screaming into the void, his face contorted in endless terror. In the heart of the asylum, they encountered something more sinister. The spirits they met were not entirely human, their faces and forms blurred between human and something else. Their eyes held an otherworldly glow, and their movements were unnatural, a chilling reminder of the cruel experiments that had taken place within these walls. Faces and forms blurred between human and something else. As dawn approached, only one of the friends emerged from the asylum, her hair turned shock white. In her trembling hands, she clutched a camera, its lens cracked and casing smeared with an unidentifiable grime. The footage contained within was a chaotic frenzy of shadowy figures and inhuman cries, yet one unsettling image stood out starkly against the rest. A door deep within the asylum marked the experimentation ward. The survivor, her eyes wide with unspeakable horror, refused to utter a single word about the terror that unfolded within those forsaken walls. Her silence spoke volumes, adding another layer to the mystery of Ravenhill. The fates of her friends who ventured into the asylum with her and never emerged became a chilling, unresolved enigma. Were they still trapped within the twisted corridors? Had they become part of the asylum's legion of tormented spirits? The questions were many, the answers agonizingly absent. Despite repeated attempts by paranormal investigators and thrill seekers, no one has ever uncovered the truth about that fateful night. The labyrinthine asylum seems to guard its secrets with a spectral ferocity, its corridors twisting into impossible geometries, leaving intruders lost and disoriented. Ravenhill Asylum stands to this day, its dark history echoing in the whispers of the wind through its broken windows. What happened to the friends? Only the walls of Ravenhill know the truth.